So we are 2 weeks away from the Jamaica general election, and with the new Dan Anderson poll coming out, my question is it time for the People's National Party to start panicking? Let's talk about it. Yes, so the latest Dan Anderson poll, I find the latest poll to be very fascinating. I know a lot of Jamaicans don't really look at these polls with any accuracy. A lot of Jamaicans don't trust it. I'm someone that don't really read into these polls also, and especially the Dan Anderson poll with such a small sample size. Because the reality is Jamaica is one big garrison, and the poll can go either way depending on what part of Jamaica you go to conduct those polls. So I know a lot of Jamaicans don't believe in it, but as I said, I find it very fascinating. In particular, the one question that I want to focus on today is, if the election was called today, who would you vote for? And we see the People's National Party leading by 1%. And I start off by asking, should the People's National Party start panicking? And I know asking a question like that, people are going to come out and say, yo, me tell you say my labor right, me tell you say them pay him off, because how can he say that PNP should be panicking when the People's National Party, they're leading by 1%? So, let me explain. Last year, September, this same question was asked, and 9%, the People's National Party, they were leading by 9%. 9% more people, September 2024, said if the election was supposed to be called today, that they are going to vote for the PNP. That would be like almost like a landslide victory. And we saw the numbers keep getting less and less, 5%, 4%, and now it is 1%. So what this is telling me, I know that, as I said, a lot of us don't really trust this type of polling thing. We don't put much value in it. But I know that the politicians, they put a lot of value in it. I know that Mark Golding is looking at these numbers every day. And that was the reason why Mark Golding was pressuring the Prime Minister to call the election for over a year now. Because Mark Golding is smart. Mark Golding knows that when in the midst of the Integrity Commission, in the midst of Dr. Andrew Holness giving that massive increase to all the politicians, in the midst of all the industrial actions for like nurses, teachers, police officers, like if the election was called a year ago, the People's National Party would be in power today. So Andrew Holness and the Jamaica Labour Party knew exactly what they were doing. And I don't know if it's luck or what is it about what is happening with the Jamaica Labour Party. But as Damian Crawford said, like Andrew Holness is just going around and cut. And that is a smart move. Like the Prime Minister came into 2025 with the lowest unemployment rate in the history of Jamaica, came into 2025 with a low crime rate. And the thing about it is that what I've noticed is that Mark Golding is not questioning those achievements. Mark Golding is going off to other things like the school bus, the old school bus and other things, because I guess he believed that, look, it's not a smart strategy to question if the unemployment rate is valid, if the low crime rate is valid. He's not questioning that. So the Prime Minister waiting until now to call the election was a genius move. And I personally believe that the People's National Party should be worried, because for the past 10 years, for all that Jamaicans have been through, as I stated in previous video, the pandemic, all of the things with the Integrity Commission, there's a lot of stuff that came out in the Integrity Commission. And even last year, like I was talking to a group of Jamaicans, and everybody that I was talking to last year, most people said that if the election was called, they would vote out the Prime Minister. But for whatever reason, the Prime Minister held out and things turned around in his favor. So with 2 weeks out from the general election and the People's National Party, they're only leading by 1% in the poll and with a margin of error like of 3%, I believe that the People's National Party should be worried because a government, I believe a strong People's National Party would have been leading by at least 15 at this point. People's National Party, a strong party, would have been leading just because of all of the things that I mentioned. And as I stated in a previous video, a lot of people, a lot of Jamaicans are of the mindset that, look, they would want to walk away from the Jamaica Labour Party with Dr. Andrew Holness. The only reason why they're not doing it is because they don't trust the leadership of the People's National Party. So the People's National Party, they put themselves in a position where the JLP right now, I think, is not as strong as they would want to be. But because people don't trust the People's National Party, they are still saying that, look, we're going to stick with what we know because we don't know what we're going to get from the PNP. And that is what these poll numbers are saying. As I said, last year, September, 9%, and we saw now only 1%, the People's National Party, they're leading by. When the question is asked, if election was today, who would you vote for?
Dead heat with 2 weeks to go before the general election. The RJR Gleaner Don Anderson polls show that both parties are in a fierce battle.
The polls were done from August 2 to 11 and has a margin of error of plus or minus 3%.
TVJ's Andrea Chisholm has been looking at the numbers.
The race is on for Gordon House.
What time is it? What time is it? Choose wisely. Choose Jamaica.
Pollster Don Anderson of Market Research Services put the issues to 1,008 registered voters across all parishes. Which of the two parties do you feel has the interest of the people more? 41% say the JLP, 40% the PNP, 12% none of them, and 7% do not know.
So, in summary, there's no difference between how the two parties are perceived on this particular issue.
The JLP is going for a third consecutive term. They have been in office since 2016 and has been campaigning on a record of performance. Based on their performance, voters were asked, do you believe the Andrew Holness government deserves to be elected for another 5 years? 41% said yes, 41% no, and 18% did not know. Reasons for saying yes? Almost 7 out of 10 respondents say they are doing a good job overall. Others say the economy has improved. The administration has good plans for the future. They trust their leadership and are traditional supporters of the JLP. Reasons the Holness administration should not get a third term, according to respondents. They haven't done enough to improve the country. Cost of living is too high. There are too many broken promises. They don't trust their leadership. The party only helps certain people, and there's too much crime and violence. And now, the big one. If the election were called now, who would most Jamaicans vote for? 35% of voters said the PNP and 34% the JLP. That's a 1 percentage point difference. 14% are still not sure, and 17% of respondents say they are not planning to vote.
When we did the poll in April of 2024, the People's National Party moved ahead by 7 percentage points. We did another poll in September. The People's National Party were further ahead by 9 percentage points. Fast forward to February of 2025, and the People's National Party's lead was cut to 5 percentage points. When we did another one in around about July of this year, June, July, the People's National Party lead was cut to 3 percentage points. Here we have a situation where the lead has been further cut to 1 percentage point.
Most of the JLP support is coming from younger persons, those in the 18 to 24 age group. Most of the PNP support is coming from older persons, those 55 years and older. Of the 35% who say they will vote for the PNP,
The reasons totally unprompted. These are the verbatim comments that we got.
29% say they want to get rid of the JLP. Others say they always vote PNP. They want to give them a chance to fix things. The PNP will do more for the people, and there's more confidence in them. Of the 34% who say they would vote for the JLP, it's because they're doing a good job. They want them to continue the projects they started. They have always voted for the JLP, and they have more confidence in them.
Yes, so what I don't think a lot of Jamaicans realize is that die-hearted PNP and die-hearted JLP don't win election. These are the people that are going to vote for the party regardless of what the party does. Anything a Labourite do, anything a PNP do, like if you are a die-hearted Labourite or PNP, you are going to stick to your party. And that is how Jamaica politics have been traditionally. The people that really win election are the people that would be considered independent. The people that could go anywhere. They could say, you know what, I'm not a die-hearted Labourite, I'm not a die-hearted PNP. I'm going to vote for the person who I believe can manage the country better. Those are the people that win the election. The main thing that the parties are going to have to do is to get out the vote. The get out the vote is the most important thing for Labourites and PNP in terms of getting out their die-hard supporters. But in terms of the independent, the people that could go either way, those people, I believe that those people are leading towards the Jamaica Labour Party. And the poll numbers is showing that. The poll numbers is showing that, because to go from a 9% lead a year ago to only 1%, what that is showing me is that the people that came into 2025 and they saw this thing about the low unemployment rate and they saw like a 40% decrease in crime, those are the people that are looking at the Prime Minister now and say, wow, like, I'm going to vote JLP. And if you're a die-hearted PNP, no matter, it could be like Jamaica could be like a Singapore today. And if you're a die-hearted PNP, you're not going to vote for the JLP regardless of what they do. So the people that really going to decide this election are the people that they are independent, the people that are not die-hearted PNP and die-hearted JLP. And as I said, the poll numbers, the turnaround in the poll number from a year ago is telling a story that, look, yes, last year people were upset when the Prime Minister gave that massive increase to everybody. Like every Jamaican I talked to, they were livid. Like myself, like I don't think a government has ever done anything since I've been following politics. A government has never done anything that pisses me off so much as when the Prime Minister gave that increase to the politicians, because at the same time we saw like teachers and police officers and they wanted an increase, but the Prime Minister gave that massive increase to politicians. And then after giving that massive increase to politicians, we're telling them that, look, you have to work. That means like these politicians were not visiting their constituency on a regular basis. They were not performing, and they got a massive increase for not performing. So that upset a lot of people last year. So to see the turnaround in such a short space of time, I believe that if the Jamaica Labour Party win this election, it is only one reason why they could win this election, and it's because people do not trust the People's National Party to lead. So guys, sound off in the comment section and let me know your thoughts on this one. Do you think the People's National Party should be worried about these new poll numbers? Let me know in the comment section. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more amazing content. And remember, peace. I'm out.